So I talk to leaders every day, and they are all looking for AI to fill some gap in their organization and save them money. What do you think about that? Will it do that magic?
It will not do as much magic as people think it will at this moment, but boy, can it do an awful lot of good. The question for me is how can I help build a company that builds systems that reduce toil, that reduce cognitive burden for the things that are repetitive and redundant, and liberate humans to the higher order thinking that computers, frankly, are not capable of, and our current category of models are never going to be capable of. Notwithstanding the hype, notwithstanding the press releases, they're never going to be able to do that higher order thinking. And so, what can we do to free humans up to live in that domain, to operate in that domain? I think that's where the real value is. I think that's where the real ROI is. And that real ROI is going to rely on not simply throwing everything at an LLM.
So we said we were going to talk about a genuine AI company versus the sea of hype and vaporware out there. What makes you different?
The company that I get to work for has been around since 2015 and doing high stakes works for the public sector since that time. And when you have to run with the weights of history around your ankle, when you have to work hard to deliver value, when the tools that exist now didn't exist then, you learn some things, you build up some muscle, and you figure out how to work in a way that now seems scrappy, but that delivers value now in a period where everyone can just vibe code a thin wrapper on top of an LLM and call it a new product. But it turns out that the total cost of ownership of that, I mean, that if there's a theme of 2026 that I am predicting, and I don't like to go into the prediction game, it's that bill is going to come due. It may be towards the end of 2026, but there's this tidal wave of expense and cost that's going to kind of wash over the market from VC on down. And that is going to be the cost of what it takes to just throw everything at an LLM. But there is an alternative. And that alternative is something that we manifest, that I manifest, which is a well orchestrated machine learning pipeline that hands the right job to the right model at the right time and only escalates to LLMs when it's meaningful and when it is managing and where it is managing an agentic context. Does so with a smart harness that makes sure that all that compute is being spent in the most economic way possible. And that's the way forward. And I'm sure that there's companies that are going to glom on to that soon. But candidly, right now, watching the market, they're few and far between. And most of them are far behind what we're able to do.